Most of you aren't subscribed. Make sure to heal the subscribe button, as it helps out the channel. Without further ado, following our MC, a college professor, we see him slaving away on his research, only to be called by one of his associates, reminding him that he has a meeting to attend. Finishing up a meeting, our MC realizes that he needs a quick break. Munching on a sandwich, it's revealed that our MC had lost his younger sister to an incurable disease. Mad at the world for its incompetence, and choosing to create medicine, to ensure such a thing never happens to anyone again. After experimenting with some chemicals, our MC realizes that he's been working for 25 hours straight, scribbling the time he's worked on his wrist, and resting up for the next day. Setting an alarm, our MC slowly drifts off. Just like that, our MC passes away in his sleep, waking up in another world, where he lays eyes on a maid. Called Pharma, the maid advises that Pharma not sit up too fast, as he was recently struck by lightning. Realizing that he's not in his regular body, and in a completely different world, Pharma sits on the bed, listening to the maid. Believing that Pharma had lost some memories after the lightning strike, the maid tells Pharma his full name is Pharma de Medicis, but Pharma realizes that he probably passed away in his sleep. Next, the maid officially introduces herself as Charlotte, or Lot for short. Seeing his bandages, Pharma asks Lot to remove them for him, which she happily does, running off to get the proper equipment. As Pharma glances at his wrist, he confirms that his previous life was not a dream. As Pharma cleans up, Lot realizes that Pharma has been marked by Panictheos, a god that Lot believes protected Pharma during the lightning strike. As Lot prays, thanking the god for protecting Pharma, Pharma learns that Panictheos is the god of medicine. Seeing Pharma so confused, Lot gets afraid. Fearing that Pharma had lost some memories, Lot decides to refresh Pharma's memories. Walking through the mansion, Lot states that Pharma belongs to a household of pharmacists, with his father being the president of the Imperial School of Pharmacy, along with being a royal pharmacist and an archduke noble. Seeing a portrait of his father, Bruno, his mother, Beatrice, his younger sister, Blanche, and his older brother, Pal, Pharma learns that his father is expecting great things from him, as his older brother is already considered elite. Lot brings up how Pharma is also capable of using divine arts, which Pharma realizes is like magic, but states that he's forgotten how to use the magic. Hearing this, Lot begins panicking, as it's essential that pharmacists know how to use magic. Knowing that Pharma may get disowned if he doesn't remember quickly, Lot orders Pharma to figure something out, telling Pharma that he had an affinity for water magic. Alone in his room, Pharma begins recounting what Lot had advised him to do, which was to imagine the water forming in his palms. Using his previous life's knowledge of chemicals, Pharma begins imagining the individual atoms and bonds, ultimately forming water in his palms, with his mark glowing bright. Unsure of how to control the water magic, Pharma rushes to his window, firing the spell off into the garden, allowing the spell to naturally run out. Noticing Lot in the garden, Pharma apologizes for getting her soaked, but Lot is just happy to see her master has remembered how to use magic. Thinking about how he used water magic, Pharma begins creating all sorts of materials, like gold and sugar, but notes that he can only create basic material, and not mixtures. Additionally, his left hand is used to create the material, whilst his right hand deletes the material. Hearing a knock at the door, Pharma quickly cleans up his work, greeting Lot, who rushes to Pharma celebrating the fact that Pharma remembers how to use magic. Suddenly stopping, Lot wonders if Pharma had forgotten his medicinal knowledge as well, warning Pharma that his father quizzes him often out of nowhere. Brought to a study room, Pharma is impressed, as his father expects him to memorize all the books, even at such a young age. Reading through, Pharma realizes that he recognizes the images and words, as this body had memorized the knowledge before, plus this world's knowledge of medicine is far inferior to his previous life's knowledge of medicine. Called to the dining room, Pharma greets his family, who all ask if Pharma has recovered. Putting their worries at ease, Pharma watches as his family cheerfully enjoys dinner, feeling sad to have stolen this young boy's body. Out of nowhere, his father asks him about the medicine used to treat his injuries, which catches him off guard, but thinking for a second, Pharma nonchalantly replies with the answer his father was looking for. Satisfied, his father states that Pharma will be resuming his lessons with Eleanor. The next day, Pharma sits across from Eleanor, who is suspicious of Pharma's new personality, calling Pharma out for being too formal with her. Reintroducing herself as Pharma's father's greatest student, Eleanor Bonifoyle, or Ellen for short. As Ellen continues to press Pharma for acting suspicious, uses the excuse of being struck by lightning as a means to get Ellen to back off. Feeling bad, Ellen states that for today, they should revisit the types of magic in this world, adding that each person has a guardian deity. For Pharma's brother and his father, they both share the deity Paniktheos. For Ellen, it's Hydrotheos. Continuing, Ellen states that the types of magic that exist in this world are fire, water, earth, wind, and none. Asking about nun magic, Ellen states that nun magic is non-standard magic, but it's been 300 years since someone was seen with such magic. Asking about creation magic, Pharma learns that his creation and destruction magic is on par with a god or monster. Finding a lake, Ellen says they'll begin magic training, reminding Pharma that people use wands as a means to amplify one's magic. Showing off a water spear spell, Ellen channels mana into the wand, shooting a long-ranged water spell. Up next, Ellen instructs Pharma to imagine the same spell, lending Pharma her wand. Without an incantation, Pharma begins picturing the spell, which sends a huge surge of mana into the wand, unleashing a powerful water spear, blowing everything back. Shocked at Pharma's huge magic output, Ellen decides to check Pharma's magic capacity, believing that it has changed somehow. Grasping a magic stick, Pharma sees the tip of the magic stick glow white, sending shivers into Ellen, who realizes that Pharma has so much magic capacity that the stick cannot determine his limit. Making Pharma promise to not reveal this to anyone, they head back, with Pharma helping Ellen, who had broken her glasses. Recommending Ellen use her fingers to make temporary glasses, Pharma suddenly sees one of Ellen's fingers glow, wondering if she had sprained it. When Pharma asks if Ellen had sprained her finger, Ellen begins to shake, remembering stories of the guardian deity Paniktheos, being able to judge any illness, with its all-seeing eyes. On top of that, Ellen realizes that Pharma doesn't have a shadow, running off, fearing that she may be in the presence of a god. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like and comment.